Oh man.
So are you the creator of Forefront? Did you do all of that? No,
No, no, no,
no.
no, no.
Okay. Okay.
I wish. Um, no. So what? But what I am is, I'm an early adopter. I was one of his. Danny Johnson is the creator, the owner and
Okay.
founder, and
Okay.
it just through just kind of odd chances, I jumped onto a webinar that
Mm-hmm.
I never jump on webinars randomly.
Yeah.
And I did that day. One of my clients, I've been a real estate consulting or real estate
There we
professional
are. There we are.
and in consulting for a long time. And one of my clients said, "Hey, hey, Eric, jump on this webinar. I think you're going to like it."
Yeah.
It was Danny Johnson uh, displaying his new software. And I was in a spot where I was needing to switch CRMs because CRMs are a challenge, as we
For
know,
sure.
just in general. And the one that I was currently on, Investor Fuse, was full of bugs and really had hit the ground. And so
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Hey, I love the webinar and the workflow that Danny had presented." And that day, I called him. I signed up. Within an hour of me signing up and opening my Forefront account. And again, I was like one of the first. I was in the beta group. I was like one of the first guys. I had completely transitioned all of my stuff over into Forefront. So I moved from CRMs in like an hour.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I was like, "Whoa, that doesn't happen." As you know, I mean,
Right. Right.
and so from it just started clicking. Just it's simple, so it wasn't too
Mm-hmm.
much to take on to
Yeah.
understand, and
Yeah.
it was almost identical. And in fact, I feel silly saying this, but it's true. Um, I used to run all of the marketing and acquisitions at CT Homes on Trello. I don't know if you've ever
Okay.
heard of Trello.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really simple project managing software. It's nothing to do with real estate necessarily, but it's
Mm-hmm.
people really like it. Again, it's simple. Um, we had crashed Podia, we had crashed all these other CRMs, and we went to Trello just for simplicity reasons. And we ran our whole business over 100 transactions a year on Trello. Each department had a Trello board. We organized it that way, and it was really, frankly, it worked.
Yeah.
But it wasn't perfect. What Danny built in Forefront, the way it operates is almost identical to how our Trello board operated.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so when I saw that, it was like, whoa. In fact, I told Danny, because I had given my Trello template, my department template, over to many different people over the years. And
Yeah.
I told Danny, I was like, "Man, did you see my Trello board when you built this? Because it's like eerie how close it is to what
Wow.
we were operating on." And of course, he's like, "No way." And but that's how the relationship started with Danny and I. So now I've been in his focus group for development ever since. It's been
Nice.
almost 2 years that we've been on
Okay.
this one. And I have Danny and his whole development team on my Slack channel, so I kind of got an inside line right to their um, communication. And so we've just been helping. I can't take any credit. This is all their team. I just am a user, and I have
Gotcha.
20 different clients across the country that I do consulting with, and all but one use Forefront as well. And so just that much
Nice.
use case
Yeah.
is just makes us really familiar with the software. So uh,
Nice. Nice.
yeah,
Okay. Good.
so we got you guys
I
all.
I think I'm working now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
There
yeah.
we go. Sorry. I
Go.
just got picked up a webcam for the office and was telling Tanya, "Hey, I got it all worked out." And as soon as I jumped on the call, it didn't work. So
Working now.
technology. So yeah, Tanya, I just based, when Eric was talking about that, I was an early adopter of Flip Pilot as well. I had tried it and
Mm.
thought really highly of it, and he just took a big chunk of it, a component of it on the rehab side, and which he had. The way he built it was kind of an all-in-one for everything, and now it's more focused on the leads and nurturing and managing the leads. And so I think he took that component out, because I think it was just, there was so much to it, and now it's just so simplified. So
Yeah.
And I did a podcast with Danny Johnson. He does the Flipping Junkies podcast.
Yeah.
I've done a couple different podcasts with him. And in one of the podcasts, he described, because I wasn't part of his previous CRM build.
Yeah.
I never saw it. But his story was real similar to what you just said. He's like, I built it into this. It just got overwhelming. It was just like a rat's nest of essential little problems and trickle effects that he's just like, it blew apart. And so when he reinvented this, he's like, I'm dedicated to simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, thank you. Right. I mean, like, that's what I wanted to hear, from him. And yeah, he just like really took from that last experience and really dedicated to the focus area of managing leads. And that's what this whole thing is about, is managing leads. And to me, I manage acquisitions, so I'm heavily biased in my opinion, but I believe this is where the business is won and lost. Is how you manage your leads.
Right.
It's your reputation. It's your results. There's a lot that happens with managing your leads. So I'm a stickler there. I'm very, and I love it. So we use Forefront in our business. So nothing that I'm talking about is going to be like, yeah, you should do that. I'm breaking things and fixing things all day, every day. So feel free. So what we've got you guys set up, and just so you guys know, you'll have access to my calendar for the next month to schedule if you want, some one-on-one time if on this. And if you run into anything, if you need to lean on anything, what about anything? You got me. Okay. So, cool. Just want to let you guys know that. Nice. So what we did do is, we have your call rail set up now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is all dialed in now. Just so you guys know, there are two different phone numbers here. You have you have 10. So like having 1, 2, or 3 doesn't matter. And in this little dashboard here, they're set to call. The call recording, I'm sorry, is on. Now you can edit these numbers. Real quick. This meeting is recorded.
Okay.
I'll send you this recording so that you guys can reference anything that we're talking about, just so you guys. Okay. So it's a bit of a training, and you guys can catalog this. So the call rail here, you can when you go to the tracking. So it starts you off on the activity right up here, and you'll see this little menu right up here. And this is where you'll just have a list of all the calls and everything that comes through your account. When you go over to tracking here, this is referring to your tracking numbers. So over here, you'll just have a whole list. If you had 20, they would be all 20 right here. And you can edit these and maneuver these right here. So if you go over to edit, then you can see these different categories here. So it says this is the name of the number. It's forwarding to here. Its call recording is on, and the greeting is off, and the call whisper is off. Right. So if we wanted to change that, and those would be things that you might want to play with. That's why I'm showing you this. Is the whisper right here? If you turn this on, it will do this.
Call from HVA lead.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right as you pick up, it will play that just before it connects you. Some people really like that for just like a heads up. Hey, this is your marketing phone. Hey, call from your marketing line. Okay. As you pick it up. Some people find it odd and distracting. So you can just literally toggle it on or off, and you can type anything you want right here if you did want to use it. Okay. So it could just be like, this is a lead. Call from, this is a lead, right? So then this is where you would change your forwarding phone number if you ever wanted to do that. Then your call recording is toggled on or off right here. Now, with this is the disclaimer. We all just kind of have to understand, like, hey, there's some legalities to how you operate with recorded phone calls. To each your own. I mean, like, I record everything. I don't do a whisper. I don't warn everybody, but I'm not using it. It's all for training purposes. And some people would say, well, that's not okay in some spots. And hey, it is what it is.
Right.
Handle it how you want to. To be compliant, just to be clear, they will put in there, and they can put in a just like you've heard before in all the automated ones. This line is being recorded or whatever. So, and that puts it, compliant no matter what. So that's really that's really it on these things. So
Okay.
I'm going to go back here to one other thing that I think is useful with regards to CallRail. And you guys you don't really need to go into CallRail much. Okay, I'm showing you this just for context mostly. Some people really like to get into their systems and really understand it, and I encourage that if you want to, but you don't have to, because everything you're going to, like, from a day-to-day interface, it's all going to be done through Forefront. Okay, but your CallRail is obviously integrated, and getting to know CallRail to me is just an advantage. It's not necessary, but if you want to win, like, you want every advantage you can. So these are the default tags that the system had. I just put some colors to them, assigned some colors. So you can then tag individual calls within CallRail if you want to. So you can, like, tag it as an opportunity, or this is the one that I use with my clients as a consultant. If there's a call that's odd, and you want to review it with a team member or, whatever, you can just tag it as a call review. Or the DNC if there's a missed call or whatever else. So how that works is when you just log into your CallRail, like I said, you'll go right to the activity. This is like where you'll go as default, log in. And if you were to just click on this right here, to make a note, you can just add a tag right here, and you could say missed call. It's not going to show there. So let me, if I can edit columns, I want tags to show and not the keywords. Yep. Okay. All right. So now I just edited this view a little bit here. So it will show a tag. So now if you have a list of calls in here, you can, like, hit the call review tag. Oh, review that. And then you can filter by, I just want to look at all the missed calls. How many missed calls came in? How many DNCs? You can add a filter here and go to tags and say, I only want to look at whatever tags. Okay. So again, as somebody that manages acquisitions, and I'm a real hawk on this stuff, I help people with their calls and setting, and I do reviews and everything. We use the taggings. And I pull, the more tagging and stuff that you do with CallRail on the back end, the better these reports become. So if you are good about tagging in CallRail, you could then pull up a weekly report or a monthly report and say, hey, how many missed calls did we have? How many opportunities came in? How long were our calls? How many, you could pull some pretty interesting stats from CallRail, because it's all getting collected. You just kind of have to start utilizing it. So anyways, that's my little CallRail. Feel free to ask any questions about that if you want to.
I think real quick, Tonya, I think this is what he's talking about is our version of our lead tracker. So we've got a sort of a separate spreadsheet that we use on Google, where when a call comes in, we've got, I'm looking at it, 13 different, what we could use as tags.
Yep.
Like, it was a wrong number. I mean, just down to the details. It was a vendor call. It was an out of state, and we could tag that. And if we ever wanted to go look at that, Tanya, we could go, okay, just like he said, how many wrong number calls did we get in a month? And then we could pull it there.
Yep.
So,
and export them or do anything. Yeah. So you can create auto tags. So if something does get missed, it will pick up a tag.
Interesting.
immediately, right? So you can create triggers in here. So, like with this number right here. So this is where you'll go into actually the call flows. So a
Oh,
call
yeah.
flow,
Yep.
yep, is um, where you tell the phone number what you want it to do. So um, if you want it to go to a greeting, anything like a menu, then dial. So this would be like, hey, thanks. It'll go right to a recorded message, and then it will go to a press 1 to talk to, press 2 to talk to, anything, and then dial out. So what it looks like is if we were to just start with a simple one like this, you can insert a step here, and you can say pick up a tag, like call this call. We want it recorded, and as soon as this phone number rings, we want to pick up a tag, and it's going to be a opportunity tag. You can do. I'm just hypothetically here.
Sure.
I'm just showing you what you can and can't do. Just delete this step. So you can insert a step like one thing that we will do is do a menu, and we'll say press 1 to be removed from our list. Press 2 to be connected to somebody live to talk about your property. Okay, so why would we use that if we create a marketing phone number and do a campaign that's really noisy? What I mean by noisy is that there's a lot of response, but they're not great leads. Like you're pissing people off.
Right.
Right. Have you ever done a marketing campaign like that? You ever done that? No.
Yeah, we get our share of those.
Yeah.
We get a lot of those.
Yeah. Okay. So exactly. Every now and again, you'll try a campaign and you'll just be like, oh, damn, that's not the response I was looking for, or whatever it was. And it's a noisy campaign. I will then put in this menu, and it's just say, hey, just so there's a filter of they have to press 2 to talk to me. They have to deliberately press 2. Otherwise, they're either going to hang up or press 1 to get removed. And perfect. So they can press, if they press 1, you can tell the system to hit DNC tag, right? Oh, press 1, then insert step, pick up a tag, apply DNC, right? They press 1. They want to be removed, right? Or, and then it goes to a voicemail saying, read message. Thank you. You've been removed from our list. Thank you. Right? You can type that in here. Then on call 2 here, you could put in a tag of opportunity, and then you could have it go to you'd want it to go to forward, right, to somebody. Okay. And so then you put in, whatever phone number here. Okay. And then, so it'll ring there for 20 seconds. And then you could say, well, then I want it to go to voicemail. Or you could say, hey, I want it to go to somebody else. Or whatever you want it to do. So pretty cool stuff. Do you guys think you'll be utilizing any of this, or?
That's a possibility. Because of the way we're set up, a high percentage of our calls go through that one number that I have in CallRail. So it's just a matter of how we want to separate them if we could. So yeah.
Well, feel free. What I would highly encourage on this step, setting up call systems for offices, small real estate teams. I've done it a lot of different times.
Okay.
What I'd recommend whiteboarding it out.
Yeah.
That you need to create some sort
flow.
of some sort of a flow, and don't rush into it. You can create a mess really fast. That's why I would always say when you're building your phone tree, just be very deliberate about it. Map it out. Anything you map out, we can accomplish pretty quick. Okay. So I would say give thought to the map. Once you have a map, if you want help setting that up, reach out, but it's all like I just showed you within call flows. It's pretty intuitive. So, now the other thing that you might want to do, with regards to your CallRail account, like in the near future, would be add a phone number. If you wanted another phone number, okay? So just know I went over to the tracking tab over here, and then this is all your phone numbers, and you just hit create a new phone number. I'm going to use it offline. Okay, where do you want to? It needs a forwarding phone number. Okay, then it tells you a local phone number. You name it right here, and then boom, create, done.
Yep.
It's like that easy. It's fun. So anyways, that's the CallRail bit.
Perfect.
Now, CallRail's completely integrated into here, right? So I'll show you how that looks. Is you go into settings here and then you go into integrations, and you'll see here's all the CallRail webhooks, and this is where the integration all sits right here. Okay. This button, resyncing phone numbers, if the challenge that could happen from time to time, it's not common, but it does happen. If the calls aren't, if the integration doesn't seem to be working properly, meaning like the phone recordings aren't showing up in your leads like you would expect them to. You do a phone call with a lead, and it should show up. The recording of the phone call should show up in the notes of your Forefront automatically. Okay, that's part of the integration. If that doesn't happen, and you're like, what's going on? And things like that start to happen. You can reach out if you want to, but the first thing that the problem solving steps, just so you know, is going right into here to the integrations, and it's almost always with these webhooks right here. So I'll redo these webhooks, and then I hit resync numbers, and it's kind of like hitting the reset button on everything, and it almost always solves any bugs that come up. So just so you guys know, it's if you didn't know that, it could be a headache to figure that out, but it's usually just right there.
So if we went in and just did a resync, I mean, obviously not knowing where you've got those down in the pre-call section there, where you've got it set up, not knowing that piece, I guess if those are all correct and we just hit resync just to see if that worked, that might fix it if we just did the resync only.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So this is where you integrate with your Google Calendar. So, for when you set appointments in the system, it's going to want to, it will sync with a Google Calendar. So if you want that action to take place, then just integrate a Google Calendar right here. And then again, when you set an appointment with a lead, on that lead, that will create an appointment event. So, and then same with your Gmail. So we didn't set that up because that takes, kind of personal login and sensitive information right here. But it's just, this is how you set it up. And if you want any help with that, reach out. We'll get you set up. But your Gmail integration is really simple, and you hit it there. Or if you have a different one, you can do it right here.
Does it work with like we have Outlook and like an Office 365 account?
Yep.
We can do that.
Yep. Right here.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. So so again, settings, right to email, settings right there. And you'll have all that dialed in. Okay. One other thing, I don't use this too often, but I think it's a worthy feature to note. So are you guys going to have one person kind of really using Forefront, like managing the leads, or is it going to be a bunch of people in here?
No, it'll just be probably both of us, but Tonya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's how I'd recommend it. You just kind of, the fewer people in here, the less problem, just one
Yeah.
person really gets to know it and it really works well. Not that it's hard or anything, but so Tonya, something that I like is creating templates wherever I can. I hate, typing or doing things that I'm doing a lot, like
Doing it over again. Yeah.
again and again. It's the same
Yeah.
damn update phrase.
Right. Right.
So
Yep.
how you can do that is
That's good.
in settings again right here.
Mhm.
They call it snippets. Okay, and that's right here, the snippets. So these are the different categories that you can create these different snippets, and all that is like templated phrases that you can create. So if you
Okay.
have notes, phrasings that you use all the time, like callback, right? Didn't get a hold of them, callback. Like, how often does that happen? Like, all the freaking time, right?
Right.
Then you write the note, or you can write the description of the note, but then you write the note right here, and then it's saved. And so that whenever you go into that note, you can just hit the snippet and say callback note. Bam. The whole phrase, sentence, 2 sentence, whatever you want, goes in there, right?
Okay.
So you can kind of build those out as you see fit. I would just recommend that there's a couple buckets that just happen a lot. The callbacks, didn't get a hold of them. Just getting a couple of those in there help out. Same with, like, if you're sending a lot of emails through the system, if you want to have a couple email templates that you just want to pick from, this is where you would do it. So you just create a new email snippet, and then that would be your template. And then again, same goes for text. Okay, so you could create, if you're set, and this is something that you will do a lot. The system is built to do a lot of texting back as a communication, right? All the follow-ups are texts, and you can do emails, but far and away, most of the time, we have the client's cell phone number, not email necessarily.
Right.
So communicating with them via cell phone or the text messages is what we do on a heavy.
Really, yeah.
And so if you want to create text snippets because you're texting a lot, then this is where you would do it. So
okay. So this is where I create them all, and then when I go into each lead, I guess it'll give me the option to access the snippet, right? And then it'll give me a list of snippets to choose from. Okay.
Exactly right.
Cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I watched a little YouTube on it, Tonya, and it's really cool, especially with what he's saying. If you have a real common theme that, like you said, someone calls and there's no connection, and you're like, hey, sorry, I missed your call. When would be a good time to call you back? You can name it, like you said, a callback, and that's the body of it. And you can just go in and choose that one and then click it. And then it'll show you here, but you can choose which way you want to send it. Do you want to send it via text? Do you want to send it via email? And,
cool.
Yeah, it's real. And then obviously it captures it all right in that lead. So, it'll timestamp it and all that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So it creates this little
there's the log
timeline, right? And so in this timeline, it has all notes, text, everything is going to show up in this timeline, and they're just color coded.
Okay.
Right. So if we went to this note, let's get into. So here you'll be able to see like the timeline. So here's a call, an outbound call. So this is how the recordings look. So this is.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then when you click on email, does it actually show the email that went and came? Yeah, I just want to see what that looks like.
Yeah, so no email went out. So
okay. Oh, for that one. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just in the whole timeline, it's just the orange, which are the activity, just showing the activity.
Right.
And the call, so
which shows a recording.
Yep. User
but the email, but if it did have an email, it would show you like the email that they received, like what it said, right?
Yep, correct.
Okay.
And the same with the text.
All right there. Okay, that's
Right
good.
here.
That's really good. Okay.